Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. My name is Raven, and today I'm just gonna be chit-chatting about all of the things that have been going on and where I've been for the last, oh gosh, it's been a very long time, and it was never intended to be this long, but here we are, and I'm finally, I'm not gonna say back to making videos, because I've been editing in the background. I just haven't been able to get myself to voiceover and finish a video. We're gonna do that. We're gonna start making videos again. I have always tried to be really open about my mental health and to normalize just talking about it and not really making it like an inspirational thing or anything like that, but just a normal thing that I deal with. Basically, my before I stopped uploading, I was burning out, and I've always been in some sort of burnout, just powering through it the best I can, and I know that I'm not the only one who has finally hit the burnout that knocked me on my butt. I kept feeling like I really needed to take a week or two from editing videos and to not focus on being productive, but I kept feeling like I needed to get ahead so that I could take those 2 weeks, and basically by the time that I couldn't edit anymore and couldn't do the thing, I had burned past the point that 2 weeks was gonna fix it. I have been trying to process some complex trauma with therapy over the last year, and it's been exhausting. I've also been dealing with a lot of different medication changes. Every time we feel like we've got one problem well treated and balanced out, something else seems to pick up, and sometimes it's been a reaction from the medications that I'm already on, or just something came up in therapy and is now having a greater effect on my life. Seasonal change has also been in effect. Summer is rough. It's really not great for a job that requires you to be not exactly functional, but able to function well enough to be creative and consistent because algorithms. I kept trying to rush videos last minute and get them done after they were already in my head due, and I did that so many times that I just made myself too anxious to even do them. There was this weekend when this was supposed to go up, and I just did not have the energy to get it done, and I physically didn't have the time because we had to leave the house, so I couldn't finish the voiceover. So I missed this deadline, and I was also trying to write a pattern for an amigurumi, and it wasn't coming out, and I had tried 3 or 4 different variations of just trying to get this one detail to work. So I put everything down for the weekend to go run errands with my husband, and then I just didn't pick any of it back up. I have actually gone back into my calendar when I was writing out the outline for this script. Basically, the second half of April throughout the entire end of May, I didn't have anything in my calendar. And I know for some people that probably doesn't mean anything, but for me, I didn't have reminders for my medication. I had deleted all of my time blocks except for appointments. It was a void. Feels like a blur. I know that I actually just started focusing on crocheting and relaxing, and I would try to make small videos. And every time I tried, I would forget to film an integral part, and I didn't have it in me to edit that, so I would just put them in a folder for me to edit later. So now I have a whole bunch of half TikToks and half YouTube videos, and I kept going back and forth between feeling really guilty that I had just dropped the ball on everything that I've worked for a pretty long time to grow and to be consistent at, and then also just having this wall of awful that was keeping me from being able to finish the video, and afraid that I was never gonna make a video again because I couldn't get past it. And then I felt I felt pretty guilty because if I never make a video again, then what was it all for? And especially what was all the equipment that we've purchased for, and I had actually gotten a new laptop so that I could edit in less pain, and all of it was making my brain fry even more when it really needed to just be left alone. Basically all of April and May was just an internal mess. And then when June came, the external mess started. So I have definitely gotten to a better place with my mental health. I'm still dealing with a lot of anxiety at the moment. I feel like that's somewhat coming down, but we're going to talk about what's going on with my anxiety. I started to feel less hazy at the end of May, and I started trying to get my systems back in place and change them and do whatever it was that I needed. And then Zach was offered a new position that required him to train on new equipment and that they were going to be setting up in his location after he trained. That's sort of when things started to go downhill for me. I'm trying to say this from my point of view, not to sound selfish, but just because I don't want to speak for him, but it's also been hard on his brain, and I know it has been. But basically, he's been having to leave town and go on these business trips to train for a week. We kept getting told that like this trip was gonna be the last trip, and then after he got home, he would be told that he actually needed to come back again. So it just sort of became this like kind of anxiety-inducing cycle of just me not having my husband around. He is my support person. I'm his support person. We both are not very good at remembering to eat or sleep or ingest liquids. You know, we have that other person in the house that reminds us to do those things. I don't know how many times, it's got to be at least once a day that he'll ask me what I want for dinner, and I didn't even think that I was hungry, and then 5 minutes later I'm like, oh, I'm very hungry. He was gone, like he ended up leaving for 3 different trips, and he has another trip coming up, and that was just really hard on my brain, because aside from just not having him there as support, we also only have one car, so I could not leave the house for these trips, and we live in the middle of nowhere. I actually can't even go to a grocery store or really much of anything without having a car. It was sort of like a second layer of anxiety of trying to make sure that I had planned everything ahead of time, such as like Mischief needing his power grains and any groceries that I might need, and any any small miscellaneous things. Like, could you imagine if you ran out of toilet paper and you didn't have a way to get it for like another 3 days? That sounds horrible. That just sounds awful. And so it was just really not fun to be dealing with all of that. On top of that, we also had to start working on our house, having other people work on our house. We really needed a new air conditioning unit. If you followed me for the last couple of years, pretty sure I've talked about our AC has gone out almost every summer, and our heater has gone out almost every winter, always at the absolute worst times, and it was going to cost basically the down payment of a brand new unit to replace one part that we needed to have replaced after we had already replaced like 5 or 6 of them, and we were probably going to need to replace more. So with like a lot of house things, it just made sense to buy a new one, but that is not a small investment. And on top of that, we also really needed a new roof. We knew we needed a new roof, but we've had a few leaks happening, and it's our house is very old. Not very old. Our house was built in the 70s, and it's a nice house, but like it does need to be cared for better than what we've been doing and better than what the previous owner was doing. We've been dealing with that. The roof itself was a one-day thing, but it was just so much noise. It was a whole thing. The whole time it just felt really crappy to be going through it alone, because most of this happened while Zach was out of town, and then I was really stressed out and he was really stressed out because he wasn't coming home, and neither of us were on a routine. And I don't even know what my routine looks like anymore, because it's just been so long and it's had so many interruptions that I keep feeling very off kilter. I'm just gonna end with some of the good things. One, we have a new roof, which means laptops aren't getting leaked on, and we also have a new AC unit, and we replaced 3 broken ceiling fans. We are now very comfortable with the temperature in our home, which is really important, especially with buns and with me not having a very good temperature in my in my body anyways. Zach has gotten my car running. We still need to test drive it before we decide that it's road ready, but it is running and we have new tags and all of the things, which is just such a big deal for me. And oh hey, we adopted another rabbit. I don't have any videos of her yet, but actually that's a lie. I have so many videos of her on my phone and I've been trying to post them to TikTok and Reels, but you'll see her in upcoming vlogs. Her name is Mayhem and she is the sweetest little girl, and Mischief adores her as long as he's getting more attention than she is. He does not really like when he sees her in my lap yet, but we'll get there. Anyways, I have gone on for way too long. I hope you are having a wonderful summer. I'm so sorry that it has been so long since I've posted, but I am really going to be trying to get my system back in place so that I can make videos because I've missed making content. Let me know what you guys want to see since it's been a while, and leave a coffee emoji in the comments if you're still listening, and I will see you guys hopefully sooner than the last time. Bye.